okay, before the main event. You want something to happen. How much attention is paid to the camera? Why is the camera there? How do we explain? There are times when it was never even addressed. And I would sit there and go, foolishly, looking for the logic and go, so who's filming this if you're supposed to be alone? Whispering that secret. How you're going to plan to take someone out at the knee when they walk by you backstage. There's a camera there. I always hated when they ignored the camera.
Even worse than that, this would be one of my favorites, is earlier in the night, somebody would get fucked and there'd be a rough bump and, the guy would come down and make the count 1, 2, 3. And then later on in the night, there'd be a situation that was the same. They'd raise the guy's hand and the referee would come from the back and say that he watched the monitor and they'd reverse the decision. Like it's either
the modern day Dusty.
Well, to me, it's either you're doing a soap opera and you're with some guy's wife. Now then you go to the coffee shop and a guy comes up to you and punches you in the face. You go, "What's that for?" He goes, "I was at the monitor when you were with my wife." Oh, I didn't know. I mean, that's what so you have to either you, like I said, you can't change. The reason Monopoly works is because every time you pass go, you get $200. It's not 400 one time, 600. Like, it's just, there's rules and that's the thing with wrestling is a lot of times those rules aren't concrete because a lot of times they paint you into a corner. So it's just like, well, yeah, but maybe this week we'll go ahead and stretch the rules a little bit because, when it comes down to it, it is pro wrestling. So why would you get blinded? Then somebody take your arm, push you against the ropes. Why would you possibly let him throw you off? And then when you hit the other ropes, not grab those ropes when you still can't see and get clothesline.
This is a lot. We talked about this with chops and,
so
assistance on the top rope.
Yeah. It's at some point, either, then if you use common sense and you don't, like, if you stop somebody, then throw them back into the turnbuckle and follow it with a clothesline, you're lazy. That's lazy. Makes sense, but you're lazy. You do 5 things. Because everybody knows that's been in a fight that when it's all said and done,
your arsenal is huge in the bar fight.
Even though you get your ass kicked, people will definitely come up and go, "I like that part when you guys were tumbling." That seemed to look aggressive.
When in TNA, at a certain point, and you were there in creative capacity,
I would run my mouth.
But when they would do the thing where the camera would be peeking through a door, see, now you're letting me know that I truly am seeing something that I'm not supposed to see. I say truly because we're going to suspend disbelief and say, okay, the camera's catching something.
Right.
That cracked door. I loved when I saw that because I said, okay, someone's paying attention now to the logic in the storyline. Easier to suspend that disbelief. You're watching a movie. Nobody trips on the dolly. He turns around. Sorry, Hank.
But how many times have you watched a movie, especially when we were younger, and it was edited, but it was edited for the theater, and then they showed on TV, and the guy would turn, and there would be the boom mic would be in the shot, and you'd go, "Well, fuck, I'm watching a movie." So I mean,
that's an accident.
But I'm just saying, it's Scott Hall used to have one of the he used to say, when you go and you pay whatever you pay to go see Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator, you buy the tickets, you sit down, it says Arnold Schwarzenegger, you read his name, starts off, there's some lightning, all of a sudden there's a nude dude, he stands up, walks into a bar, takes the guy's clothes. Now you know that that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know he's what used to be a bodybuilder, but for some reason, for the next 2 hours, you have no problem believing he's a cybergenetic being because it's done well.
This is where we diverge from wrestling, because we're supposed to be backstage at a sporting contest, right? So
why is everybody dressed in their gear?
as they're walking backstage. Yeah, exactly.
So obviously, you know, you have a match.
Yes.
I know I'm sure as hell not going to be, walking around in spandex and boots since 11 o'clock that morning for no reason.
A cyborg and an Asian walk into a bar.
John Tent is the bartender.
John Tenta, an Asian, and a cyborg walk into a bar. Finish that, guys, for next week. So we'll give a prize to the best finish to that joke. But the peeking around the corner thing, the peeking through the door, whatever was being discussed by the wrestlers that we were kind of peeking in on, that suddenly made everything, that opened things up, because you could have anything happen. You didn't have to explain the camera because they couldn't see it. Now, when the camera's sitting there in someone's face, I never, and this has been for years on Raw, I could never understand how they weren't explaining the camera. Now, if it's a stand-up promo with, tonight, that's a different ballgame. But on those skits where I'm just supposed to be a fly on the wall, it's just it's never been believable enough because of that. I wish they would work harder.
It was during the golden era.
It was. That's what I'm saying. It was. And we knew there were cameras roving around backstage. So they never let us see something we really weren't supposed to see, unless like that TNA thing, like where it catches something. But we weren't privy to hearing the plans that they were going to, because it's on television. I don't know. Am I a moron? Wanting this logic to return?
Yeah, I don't think that that's your choice. If you're looking for logic, I think you should not
be watching Raw every week.
Just there's logic to it. There's so many intangibles. Like, to me, like, I understood what they were doing. They were giving so much action that you didn't get a chance. Like, it used to be that the Raw used to be come down, start a promo, halfway through the promo, other person's music comes down, they come to the top of the ramp. I don't like what you had to say. Oh, yeah, well, I'm better than you. Okay, well, I'll see you later on tonight. Then the next thing is there's a guy at the coffee pot. He's pouring a cup of coffee. Guy walks by, hits him with his shoulder. You got a problem? Yeah, I got a problem. Well, how about segment 4? We go out, put our gear on, and have a match. Works for me. So, I mean, that's the other way that things have been.
Okay, keep that example. I want to take you back to WCW. When someone else's music would hit and you and Scott didn't stop talking.
Well, that's just because we're dicks.
No, but go to the bar fight. Were you guys going to go, whoa, whoa,
that was the same as when we go out there on live TV and we'd be in the ring, or they'd be in the ring and they'd be calling us out, and they'd be like, outsiders, we watch you. We can't wait till Sunday. Scott will walk on and go, We can. It's like, so what are we going to go down? We're scheduled to go down to a pull apart. What is that going to do but take away from Sunday when we're supposed to be trying to sell this thing for $49? Like, no.
But that breaks from the conventional logic that they were trying to push. And that's what I'm talking about. Is nobody backstage going, what if we don't go down and hit them? What if we stand on the... But I guess it's all so tightly written now, right? There's no room for improvisation or talent to go, let's change it up.
Usos decide between their faction that they're not going to come down for a segment.
You can't today, is what I'm saying, right?
No,
right.
Not the way it's written.